So my theory around the AI SDRs is that I think that the best human sellers will always outperform the best AI SDRs just because there is this idea of, I don't know, like there's the human creativity, the human brain that's able to do some out of the box thinking and come up with some very creative prospecting ideas. That said, I think the models are improving to a point where AI SDRs have their place in the market. And when you look at the investments going in sales tech, you see that some companies are being heavily invested on. What's your take on AI SDRs?
Yeah, I think the first thing I'd like to say is that I'd love to meet someone who is happy with the AI SDR. I've looked for that because actually, like at Lemlist, it's a question we have, like, do we do an AI SDR? We can do it. We have data, we have engagement capabilities. We could do an AI SDR and pretty much quite quickly. The problem is that I don't believe in it now.
Okay.
And I'd love to see someone that actually like was happy with AI SDR. So if someone listened to this podcast and tells me like, I have used an AI SDR product and I was happy with it, so please reach out and show me.
Send him a message, Charles
at lempire.co or LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to actually meet people who are happy, and I've actually chat with people who use them and they all discontinued the service quite quickly after 2, 3, 4 months. That's the general state of what I'm seeing today. And when I try to understand why it's not working, so first of all, I agree with you, is that if you take someone who is average on doing, for instance, copywriting, you can have an AI do as well as this, potentially even better with the right prompting than 80% of the people. So you can, I agree that today, I think with the right prompt, you can do an AI that does better than 80% of all customers at Lemlist, but very far from doing as good as your team does as an agency and as all the best growth people do.
Yeah.
The problem is that this extra quality is where the results happen, So that's if you do an average, it's actually the extra effort after like the average. It's like when you actually do something that's really good that you really get results. So in this world, because it's competitive, and so doing just as a bit better than everyone is not enough.
Okay.
So in my opinion, I think the problem with AI SDR, but maybe I'm wrong because I've never done an AI SDR. It's the data part. Because again, like let's say that tomorrow you want to sell an AI SDR, and I'm sure you know that as you run an agency. There are lots of different businesses. Each business is different. Each business has different persona, ICP, intent. Of course, you will tell me, yeah, but fundraising is something that's used commonly. Yes, but fundraising is less and less good with time because most people use it, and so it loses value. And on top of that, fundraising data, okay, you can access it at scale, but that's one thing. So I think the general problem is the data. And when you look at who gets the data in the world, it's actually the person who has the biggest data is Apollo. Apollo has the biggest database of like data with people data, email data, phone, their intent data. They have the biggest database. That's it. They are the one who build themselves on this. And I don't even think that they are able to build an AI SDR that's so good. Because the AI SDR to work should mean that any companies that come, you're able to find relevant leads that have an intent for them. So I take Scalo, for instance. We sell to restaurants. So it's easy to do as an example because we did mostly cold calling, but we sell at restaurants. Tomorrow, if I buy for an AI SDR product, good luck to find a restaurant address in France. Okay, maybe you are able to scrap Google and give me some numbers, but I don't really believe so. You will do spray and pray, and ultimately it will just create more volume in the spray and pray part, which I don't think is sustainable. So this is, for me, this is the main missing piece. I do think like for copywriting, even you can do better than most people. And of course, with AI improving, you will be able to do certainly something that comes close to what you guys are potentially able to do with human. I don't think it will ever be perfect as a human can do, but it will come close.
Yeah.
But for data, I have really very big issues thinking of when I look at the complexity of the workflows that a company builds around CRM, So yeah, I don't really see it. I think the way and why people are bullish on AI SDR, it's first because there is a PMF. And there is a strong PMF. But why there is a PMF? If I tell you, just give me money, I will give you customer, everybody buys.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
It's like, give me money and I will give you the perfect body. You buy, right?
Yeah.
If you don't need any effort.
Yeah.
So then the question is, are you able to offer this? Am I able to give you the perfect body? Give me $2,000 a month, and I will keep you in shape. You have nothing to do. You buy, right?
Yeah, I would,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody buys that. But then, are you able to do it? Are you able to deliver on this? So for now, I don't see the promise being delivered.
I see.
Will it happen?
But
I think so.
Yeah. One thing you said though is you said the data is difficult to find, and you mentioned the example of Scalo.
Yeah.
So that would mean that if for some industries the data is easier to find, then the AI SDR could be viable.
Yeah, for some industry, and that's why most AI SDR are sales-led and not PLG. That's why you cannot really online self-onboard because they will have your sales qualify you and pick you and say, okay, in your sector, I assume, I don't know, but I assume if you're selling to HR professional, they will tell you, okay, we have already a database of HR, we have some comparable customers, so we are able to serve you.
Okay.
I think what they are today is service disguised as software. So for me, they are agencies. Actually, they are competitors of agencies, more than competitors of software.
Yeah.
And what I think they do is they have this huge PMF and this huge promise, which is, give me money, I will give you customer, which everyone want to buy. So there is a strong PMF and strong willingness to pay for this. And for now, they can raise lots of money because of this PMF, and they can hire people to basically do a bit of manual stuff and try to see what can be streamlined and standardized and say, okay, we have one pipeline of data which is around intent data around fundraising, so let's do a big thing around that. So I'm sure they have different streams and they organize this and they try to mix this manual process into something that's more automated, with the end goal being everything is fully automated. So will they manage to do this? I have no idea. I think it's still difficult to foresee. Certainly, but it's just that you need to build everything. You need to build better data than Apollo, engagement capabilities, ability to onboard customer, etc., etc. And I think that operations is pretty heavy. So that will be definitely interesting. But
we'll see in the next few years.